Hello and welcome to this week's angling blog. This week you join me on the banks of a local commercial and we're in search of silvers on the pole. I hope I find all your families well, you're staying safe and you're managing to get out there and get a bend in the rod and spend some quality time bankside. Before we get into this week's vlog, I'd just like to thank everybody that left such nice comments on last week's video where we went in search of those pike on the river. It was great to hear your comments on the Angler's Mail and have an active debate in the comments section. So thank you for everybody that took the time to comment and enjoyed the vlog. So as of recording this vlog, we're about to go into a 4-week lockdown and it's looking like fishing is going to be allowed to continue. It's great now that in the second lockdown we are learning those lessons and the benefits of fishing are being recognised. What it does mean is venues like the one behind me, a local pond to myself, are going to be venues that most of us will be visiting again. So in the next 4 weeks I'm going to be looking at doing a session on the pond behind me, just showing what fantastic venues we have on our doorstep. We all travel many miles, don't we, to the rivers, lakes and canals in search of fish. But over the years I've found out more and more it's the venues that are on our doorsteps that have the most to offer. Now they might not have the biggest fish, but sometimes the most enjoyable days can be spent 5 or 10 minutes from your house. So there are a lot of things that have changed during lockdown, and working from home for me has been one of them. I have enjoyed the fact that working at home is a lot quieter than being in the office, but it does come with other things as well. And I thoroughly enjoyed this week's vlog, just getting out on the bank with a bit of bait and fishing for anything that swims. I hope that you do enjoy this week's vlog. If you do, feel free to leave the video a like, and if you're new around here, there's over 200 videos on the channel, so feel free to subscribe for more content. A new video goes live every Friday at 6 PM. I hope you enjoy this week's video. Tight lines in your own fishing, and I'll catch us all next week.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know, if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs.
Hello and welcome to this week's angling blog. This week you join me on the banks of a local commercial. It's a cold October morning and we're in search of anything that swims. So I've just dropped the kids off at school at 9:30, grabbed my pole, my seat box and a few bits and pieces, and I've headed out to my local commercial, which is Flushing Meadows Fishery in Acton. It is a fishery that we have featured on the vlog before, and I'll put a link at the top of the screen now if you want to check that vlog out. In that vlog we did use a keep net. We had a fantastic day fishing for silvers and carp. That's the swim that we're going to fish today, and the reason why I've chose it is when I first arrived I just stood over there and had a look where there was the most activity really, and I seen quite a few fish topping in this area here. So what this swim gives me is options. Obviously I've got the dark water there, which is going to be great for seeing me float over and putting a line in the deeper water. And then down the right you've got the option again of a line tight up to them reeds up the shelf. It is unseasonably warm. It's been cool this morning, like there has been a bit of dew on the ground, but it's not cold if you get what I mean. Too many times I go places and I see people march to pegs because it's the favourite peg, and they don't really look at the water that they're fishing on the day. And I see it all too often, and you've got to look at the water on the day. You can see here there's plenty of fish topping in this area, and I've got no idea what is going on there. Maybe the plugs come out the bottom of the lake, I don't know, but yeah, shows that there are fish feeding. I'm going to set up the rigs and we'll take a look at the side tray. So rigs for the session: for the silverfish line down the middle I've got a 1 gram Dave Harrell float. It's more of a whip float, but it's got that extra weight that I'm going to want for getting my bait straight down to the bottom. That's down to a bulk shot of Dinsmore number 8 weights, and that's what I want today. I want to be fishing in them lower layers where I feel them better quality fish are going to be. That's 4 pound main line down to a 1 pound 7 ounce hook link. Got 2 number 8 droppers down to a 18 hook. So the line on the far bank was a lot deeper than I thought it was going to be. So I've got a 4 by, what's that, 12 float. I've got some number 8 droppers down the line, and that's to a size 16 hook. So the side tray, nice and simple. Got some pellets. I've just wetted down some micro pellets. About 2 pints of white maggot. Got around 2 pints of Cheshire particle hemp. And this is the new one coming out with the garlic in. And I feel like this is going to be a real bait that I'm going to use a lot when the barbel next year. But without today using it for the silvers. Just going to start by feeding some maggot and a tiny bit of hemp onto the silvers line. I'm going to take it nice and easy, feel my way in and just see how it is. On days like this when the seasons are changing, you never quite know how the fish are going to respond. So we'll start easy on the silvers line, and we'll put a bit of pellet and a few grains of corn on that far bank corner there. Expecting there to be a lot of small stuff in here, so I'm just going to begin by feeling my way into the session, feeding it nice and lightly to begin with. There's the first bite of the day. So the first fish of the session, and it's a lot bigger than what I was expecting. Some of these pools do hold some really small silvers, so that's a great start that it's a skimmer, because it means obviously the bait got down to the bottom. And a nice start to the session, a nice early bite. The second fish. The first thing I'm noticing is these fish are ice cold, so that's 2 quick bites, but not going to get carried away. Just going to keep putting in a few maggots and a few grains of hemp and just see if any better quality fish move in. So just laying that bait in, the rig over the top. We're not getting any indication on the way down, so that's a good sign that our bait isn't being intercepted on the way down. We are fishing in them bottom layers where we want to be fishing today. You can see there in them opening stages the quality of the fish has slowly improved. Just been feeding a few maggots and hemp, and it might be that we need to start feeding with the catapult over the top and just increasing that feed now. But let's see what happens if we start feeding that hemp over the top and removing the cad pot. So by removing that cad pot off the end, obviously you increase the amount of feed that you can put in. So I've just put a nice pouch of hemp over the top. Not going to put too many maggots in because I think that will draw them up. Let's just see what happens if we start feeding that hemp little and often via the catapult. So feeding that hemp over the top, just still getting plenty of bites from these roach, which is what you would expect if you were feeding the hemp. What we're hoping for is that it attracts them better quality roach into the swim. So as you can see there, getting plenty of bites despite feeding quite a bit of bait. Probably feeding the same amount of hemp as I would on a river, But it is a biter chuck. It's been plenty of fun so far. It's been a biter chuck for those silvers, and every so often we get a better quality one, and feeding that hemp really positively, and every now and again a big pouch of maggots over the top. We've had plenty of silvers so far. And one thing just feeding that hemp is doing, it's keeping them fish on the bottom. Like I always say, hemp is a bait that I use to keep fish down in them bottom layers. As you can see there, the float's settling, and we're not getting a bite until that float is settled. So it tells me that them fish are all down in them bottom layers when I want to catch them. Has been a biter chuck. You can guarantee coming on here with a whip you'd have an excellent day's fishing, but sod's law it'd be a carp or chuck, wouldn't it? So it's been great fun down the middle getting them skimmers and them roach. Just moved over to that far bank line on double maggot, and what a beautiful fish that is. Pristine, not the big carp that we were after over there, but what a stunning fish it is. Golden like the leaves behind it. Let's get it straight back. So with the sun going down, just hooked into another carp, just coming along them reeds on the far bank, and the float didn't half belly. A beautiful way to end the day. Hopefully we can get him in and take a look. Really have enjoyed today. It's been great fun, plenty of bites. It's a pity we can't put the keep net in, or we'd have seen just how many we have had. So over the years on the blog we've had some fantastic sessions, you know, big pike, good nets of roach, 2 pound roach, big nets of dace, but today has been much needed for the soul. The lockdowns are most certainly going to come again, and I do hope that fishing is allowed to continue. Fishing is so important for the mental health of people, and I do hope that they allow fishing to continue, you know, if it does get into another lockdown. Stay safe out there, guys. Tight lines in your own fishing, and I'll catch us all next week. Tight lines.